Hey guys, I'm SDN Wolf, and welcome back to the channel. And man, one thing that we really need to kind of narrow down here, I guess, kind of moving on from Pine Creek, is what in the world do we want to tackle next as far as Planet Zoo, theme goes. What in the world are we gonna try? Like, part of me, I think maybe we'll do some polls. Maybe get some polls going, either on here or on Twitter or something like that. But man, it's like half of me wants to come in and do a really, really cool, like ultra fantasy tropical zoo, kind of like we did here in like we did here in Planet Coaster. And really like we said before, no budget, just absolutely, crazy, over the top, like Disney unlimited. Just unlimited budget. But then the other part of me, I went hiking this morning, and I was over at this park, and there's you have to hike up to these waterfalls, and there's a big creek, and all of this stuff. And I started looking at that, and I was like, okay, well, what if maybe should I do still do a Pine Creek type of build, but make it absolutely no budget. So throw all of the remember how Pine Creek started out as a really just a nice little family, smaller little roadside zoo. And I got a little crazy at the end, but I'm talking about what if we just got crazy from the very beginning with whatever that zoo is. But the only thing is, I'm leaning a little more towards basing it in the mountains like you see in the background, but just having it more of maybe a tropical type of, maybe like a Busch Gardens type vibe. I don't know. I know that the Dollywood type, really rugged, rustic, those type of builds, those are really kind of what's in my wheelhouse as far as thematics and just what I feel comfortable on designing and what I think I can make look good on camera and in presentation videos. I can document those just really, really well. With some of these parks like this, where it's tropical, it's really just crazy off the top. Sometimes I'm not the best at making these as cohesive as they should be. I really these kind of become just massive, Gary's Mod, almost that's how I'll put it. The problem with these type of parks with me, if I go really off the wall and not a centralized theme, they have a real tendency to become experimental type parks, meaning they're they're completely all over the place. And that's what was so cool, I think, and what you guys liked about Pine Creek so much is it was just so cohesive. Everything just really come together so well, and every little section kind of complemented the other section. It all had its own little story sections. We really got the lore in there, and like I said, sometimes when I'm like this right here, where it's really just we can just do off the wall whatever we can imagine, it gets away from me a little bit. And without that cohesiveness, when the cohesiveness and the craziness, when I add on to these type of builds, like I said, it all becomes kind of jumbled up, I'd say. It really just kind of gets away from me, and that's what leads me into not finishing zoos. Now, you'll know one thing too, if you've been around the channel for a while, you'll notice that today we did the finale for Pine Creek. When have I ever done that you guys have known me? When have I ever just really sat down and had a really well thought out finished zoo? We did what we came to accomplish, and it just ended on a really good finished note. Rarely ever. And that was kind of just what was so cool about me jumping in and really just sticking with Pine Creek, and just like I said, just finishing it once, finally for you all. And one guy, I don't even remember his name, but he like really just kind of bent me, like he just really kind of bent me in the wrong direction. But once I remember the Planet Zoo, the original experiment zoo that I built, I wanted to finish that because I was tired of it, and I wanted to go on to Pine Creek. And I remember he commented and he said, well, why should any of us be surprised? You never finish a project anyway. And this was a guy that like always commented on my videos, and was just really always like usually left pretty good feedback. But just that comment of like just running it into the, like really kind of just railroading me, and like it really kind of messed with me mentally, because I kind of knew he was right, but he was also like really was just a dick about it, and just not respecting the fact that some of this stuff, especially if you're not in the YouTube world, you don't understand how tough the daily videos can be, and trying to come up with new content every single day, and was really just disrespectful to that. And him and I ended up parting ways, as far as the YouTube channel goes. But in a sense, I kind of used his comment. This was before Pine Creek even started, but I really used his comment to make myself finish that zoo, even though he's not around anymore. I haven't seen him since that, that little confrontation we had. But that was just one of the things that really made me want to keep going and make sure I settled that park right. And that is kind of like that's kind of why like I'm a little timid about starting a new park, just because I don't want to do that again. If I do it, I want it to be on that level that Pine Creek was, and just something that I knew I wanted to finish. And but anyway, so that's what I was saying. We just kind of need to get in here and really kind of give this some good thought about how we want to proceed. One thing I will tell you guys is definitely I wouldn't look for it necessarily until I get some DLC news. Now, once I get some DLC news, or if we know something new's coming sooner rather than later, then we can look to start on that. Because after once we figure out what the new DLC is going to be, then there's really no reason to hold back. But for right now, I want to see, is this going to be like a little tiny DLC, or is this going to be like one of those big, massive, I think like Try to Thrive was talking about it. Is this going to be one of these like big game-changing type DLCs where, we're talking like brand new mechanics, like as far as maybe underwater swimming goes. He was hitting up as far as penguins and stuff goes, really needing that underwater type swimming mechanic, and what we have now wouldn't really fit that, what those animals would need to do to be believable. So there's a lot of different factors in me kind of wanting to wait it out a little bit, and let's just kind of see what they have up their sleeves. Hopefully it's in March. If not, I guess we'll just kind of have to come up with some little, with some filler type content. I don't really have, I was telling Jonty, I was telling him, I'm like, man, I kind of want to wait for new DLC to be announced, because, I'm sure they're working on some new content. But I was talking like, maybe should I do a little offshoot, or maybe do a little arc, survival evolve type deal? Like, what in the world should I do? And Jonty was kind of like, and Beyond Drew too, they're like, you might want to stick into the vein of maybe doing some little one-off habitat builds. But basically they were saying I probably wouldn't run off and do the whole like 7 days to die type stuff. I would probably just maybe chill out until an announcement, and maybe just get some little habitat, little one-offs kind of done. And I was thinking, that definitely sounds like a good plan to, you know, maybe kind of get in there and maybe do it like I wanted to do like a little polar bear type exhibit, or maybe like a polar bear type of research lab, you know, like out in the Arctic. And so there's a lot of little different things a lot of different little approaches we can take to kind of, you know, get me through until that DLC kind of situation unfolds. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's sooner than later. Hopefully we're not like waiting till the end of April. But if not, like I said, we'll pop off some little exhibits and stuff. Maybe jump back into some Planet Coaster a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, I really want to wait for a new park until we see what that DLC is going to be. So anyways, guys, yeah, I have sat in here and jabbered on enough for you, I guess. I was really happy with all the comments and stuff you guys sent out to me today after we posted that Planet Zoo finale. It was sad, but a lot of those things were like, a lot of you guys were like, I'm just glad it happened, and it was a really good winter series. And now with spring coming up on us, you know, they've already moved the stinking time on us now, so we will. It's time for us to, you know, kind of just like we said, just kind of end on Planet Zoo's little Pine Creek experiment and leave that in the winter. And remember, that is on the workshop now, so you guys can go and actually look at that, you know, for yourself. Tell me what you think about it now that you can actually get in and kind of fly around on it. But yeah, we will. There's definitely some more mischief to go. I got all these animals you've seen. I've got to give a big shout out to Dead-Eyed Duck, because most of these animals, these were all his models that he was able to import through the TMTK, and yeah, a lot of these just came out really killer. And yeah, just really appreciate all the work that he did back before we even had Planet Zoo, and we kind of had to fake it here in the Planet Coaster Park. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'll jump on out here. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and hanging out with me. Don't forget to smash that like button if you end up enjoying this video. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you. See you.